Stop blaming the algorithm for your bad dates. The reason you can't find a connection isn't because of Tinder, Hinge, or Bumble. It's not because men are trash or women are too picky. It's because your brain is currently running on software that hasn't been updated in 50,000 years. We are walking around with Stone Age minds trying to navigate a space age world, and the result is a complete disaster. We have more options than any generation in human history, yet we feel more lonely and disconnected than ever before. It doesn't make sense on paper. If you have 1,000 potential partners in your pocket, you should be happily married by Tuesday. But you're not. You're frustrated. But what if I told you that every swipe, every ghosting incident, and every confusing situationship isn't a glitch? It's actually a feature. We are about to rip the skin off modern dating to reveal the ancient, primal blueprint underneath. Once you see the pattern, you won't look at a dating profile the same way again. Let's be real for a second. Dating right now feels like a second job where you don't get paid, and the HR department is actively trying to ruin your life. You spend hours scrolling, you match, you talk for a bit, and then nothing. Or worse, you go on a date. And even though the person is perfectly nice, you feel absolutely zero spark. You go home, stare at the ceiling, and wonder if you're broken. You aren't broken. You are just overwhelmed. You are a biological machine designed to live in a tribe of about 150 people, suddenly thrown into a digital room with millions of strangers. Your instincts, the ones that kept your ancestors alive, are misfiring. They are screaming danger or not good enough, based on rules that applied when we lived in caves, not condos. To fix this, we have to go back, way back. Here is the truth about that split-second decision you make when you swipe left or right. You think you are judging someone's haircut or their bio, but you aren't. You are actually doing a high-speed health check. Imagine you are back in the wild 10,000 years ago. You don't have hospitals, you don't have antibiotics, and you definitely don't have a retirement plan. The only way you survive is by picking a partner who is healthy enough to have kids and strong enough to help you keep them alive. When you look at a photo on a screen today, your brain is still that hunter-gatherer. It scans for symmetry. Why? Because in nature, symmetry means you have good genes and you didn't grow up with a bunch of parasites. You look for clear skin, which means no diseases. You look for signs of energy and vitality. This is the brutal reality of the hot or not culture. It feels shallow, right? We hate that we are so focused on looks, but that shallowness was originally a survival mechanism. Your brain is a risk assessment computer. It is trying to predict the future health of your offspring in less than a second. The problem is, we've taken this survival tool and gamified it. In the wild, you might see 1 or 2 potential partners a year. You would scan them, maybe get to know them and make a choice. Today, you scan 500 people in an hour. Your brain was never designed to reject that many people that quickly. Every time you swipe left, you are reinforcing a habit of looking for flaws. You are training your brain to be a critique machine, constantly searching for reasons to say no. Because deep down, your primal brain is terrified of making a bad genetic bet. We aren't looking for love. We are looking for the safest genetic option. And we're doing it at a speed that is making us numb. Now let's talk about the most painful part of modern dating, ghosting. You have a great conversation, maybe even a good date, then silence, no text back. They just vanish, it hurts. It makes you feel small and disrespected. But have you ever wondered why otherwise nice people do something so cruel? Let's go back to the tribe. Picture that small group of 150 people on the savannah. In that world, everyone relies on everyone else. If you directly reject someone, if you look them in the eye and say, "I don't like you," it's dangerous. That person is your cousin's hunting partner. If you create a conflict, it tears the tribe apart. You might get kicked out, and if you get kicked out of the tribe, you get eaten by a lion. So humans developed a way to avoid direct confrontation. We use nonverbal cues. We distance ourselves slowly. We do the Irish goodbye. We developed a deep biological fear of causing social pain because social pain used to equal death. Fast forward to today. That fear of confrontation is still stuck in our heads. But now we aren't in a tribe. We are on the internet. We don't rely on our Tinder date to help us hunt a mammoth, but the instinct to avoid the awkward no is still there. Ghosting is the modern version of running away from conflict to keep the peace. It's cowardice, yes, but it's cowardice born from a survival instinct. We are terrified of the emotional blowback of saying, "I'm not interested." In the digital world, it's easier to disappear than to face the discomfort. We prioritize our immediate safety, our emotional comfort over the other person's feelings, because our brains still think that a direct rejection could ruin our social standing. The irony is, by trying to avoid a small conflict, we are creating a massive amount of collective pain. We are all running from lions that aren't there anymore. There is this massive pressure to find the one, the soulmate, the person who completes you. We treat it like a magical destiny. But if we look under the hood, The one is really just a chemical trick. Nature has a very specific goal. It wants you to pass on your genes. But human babies are helpless. A baby horse can walk in an hour. A human baby can't even hold its own head up for months. Raising a human takes a massive amount of effort and energy. To solve this, nature created a chemical cocktail. Oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin. When you fall in love, your brain floods you with these drugs. It feels amazing. It feels like you're high. It makes you obsessed with that one person. You can't sleep. You can't eat. You just want them. That intense feeling, that's not destiny. That is a biological bribe. Your brain is paying you in pleasure to stay with one person long enough to raise a child until it's helpless, stage is over. That intense spark we are all chasing is actually a temporary bonding mechanism. The problem today is that we have turned this chemical high into the only metric for a relationship. We think that if we don't feel that heart-pounding, dizzying obsession, then it's not true love. We break up with perfectly good partners because the chemical cocktail wore off after 2 years, which, by the way, is exactly when it's designed to wear off biologically. We are chasing the drug, not the partnership. In the ancient world, you stuck together because you had to survive the winter. Today, we don't need a partner for survival. We can buy our own food and pay our own rent. So without the survival pressure, we rely entirely on the feeling. And when the feeling fades, as it always does, we think something is wrong. We go back to the apps, looking for the next hit of dopamine, searching for the one again and again, confusing a chemical reaction for a life partner. There is another reason why you can't choose. It's the jam experiment problem. Psychologists did a famous study where they set up a tasting booth for jam. One day they offered 24 different flavors. Another day, they only offered 6. On the day with 24 flavors, everyone stopped to look, but almost no one bought anything. On the day with 6 flavors, people bought way more jam. Why? Because when the human brain has too many options, it shuts down. It gets paralyzed. It's called decision fatigue. Dating apps are the day with 24 flavors, multiplied by 1,000,000. You scroll through endless faces. Every time you think about picking one, a voice in your head says, but what if the next one is better? What if there is someone taller, funnier, richer, just one swipe away? In the tribe, you had maybe 3 people your age to choose from. You picked the best of the 3, and you made it work. You built love. Today, we don't build love. We shop for it. We treat people like products on Amazon. If the product has a tiny scratch, if they chew too loud, or they have a weird laugh, we return them. We think the problem is that we haven't found the perfect product yet. But perfection doesn't exist. By having infinite choice, we have lost the ability to be satisfied with anything. We are starving in a supermarket because we can't decide what to eat. Have you ever gotten the ick? You're on a date, everything is going fine, and then they say one weird thing, or they wear a weird shirt, and suddenly you are repulsed. You can't even look at them. That is your danger radar malfunctioning. For our ancestors, paying attention to small details was life or death. If someone acted strangely, it could mean they were sick, unstable, or untrustworthy. A false positive, thinking someone was dangerous when they weren't, cost you nothing. You just stayed away. A false negative, thinking someone was safe when they were dangerous, cost you your life. So, our brains are wired to be paranoid. We are wired to overreact to anything that breaks the pattern. In the modern world, this paranoia destroys perfectly good dates. We see a minor incompatibility. Maybe they like different music or they text too many emojis. And our brain screams, unsafe, abort mission. We label it as a red flag when it's really just a difference in personality. We are using a threat detection system designed for leopards and rival tribes to judge someone's choice of footwear. We are hyper-vigilant, looking for reasons to run, because safety is our default setting. But love isn't safe, love is risky. And if you listen to every single alarm bell your primitive brain rings, you will never let anyone close enough to hurt you. But you'll also never let anyone close enough to love you. So, this is depressing, right? We are meat robots driven by chemicals, fear, and outdated software. Are we doomed to be lonely forever? No, absolutely not. The best thing about being human is that we have this thing called the prefrontal cortex. It's the part of the brain that thinks, plans, and overrides our instincts. We don't have to be slaves to our biology. We can hack the code. Recognizing the program is the first step to deleting it. Now that you know why you do these things, you can stop. When you are swiping and judging people on a split second of symmetry, stop. Force yourself to read the bio. Force yourself to look for things that actually matter for long-term happiness. Kindness, stability, shared values. These things are not visible in a split second. You have to slow your brain down manually. When you feel the urge to ghost someone because you don't want the awkwardness, override it. Remind yourself, I am not on the savannah. No one is going to spear me. Send the text. Say, hey, I had a nice time, but I don't think we are a match. It's scary for a second, but it breaks the cycle of fear. It builds your courage. When the chemical high wears off in a relationship, don't panic. Recognize that you are moving from the drug phase to the building phase. That is where real love actually starts. Real love isn't a feeling, it's a choice you make every day, even when the dopamine isn't hitting. And most importantly, limit your choices. Stop treating dating like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Talk to fewer people. Focus on one person at a time. By artificially limiting your options, you force your brain to engage deeper rather than wider. You stop shopping and start connecting. We are living in a strange time. We are ancient creatures wandering through a digital maze. The paradox of modern love is that the tools designed to connect us are triggering the instincts designed to keep us apart. We swipe for safety, we ghost for protection, and we chase chemicals for survival. But you are more than your instincts. You are more than a survival machine. The search for a partner is messy and scary because it matters. The modern dating hell you feel is just the friction between who you were effectively designed to be and who you are trying to be today. The game isn't rigged against you, it's just old. The rules haven't changed in 50,000 years, but the playing field has. Now that you know the rules, you can stop playing by accident and start playing on purpose. You can stop swiping for survival and start looking for a human being. If you've ever felt that specific burnout from modern dating, or if you think your danger radar might be a little too sensitive, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below with the word Primal if this clicked for you. And if you want to understand more about how your ancient brain is controlling your modern life, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are decoding the human experience one glitch at a time. I'll see you in the next one.